Imagine waking up one morning and discovering the world thinks you're dead. Not metaphorically, literally. Your name erased from records, your income cut off, your medicine blocked. No warning, no explanation, just gone. This is not science fiction. It's the very real story of Margaret Arrighetti, a grandmother from New York who has been declared dead not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. And before we go any further, if you love unbelievable true stories that sound like fiction, hit subscribe and like now. We bring you bizarre realities every week, ones that might just make you question your own. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Margaret Arrighetti was living a quiet, ordinary life in Staten Island. Retired, widowed, the kind of life filled with routine, grocery shopping, calls with grandkids, prescription refills. Nothing extraordinary, but everything changed in May, just a few weeks after her husband passed away. Margaret received a strange call from her insurance company. "We're sorry to hear about your passing," the agent said. At first, she thought it was a mistake. Maybe they meant to refer to her husband, but no. The representative explained that according to official records, Margaret Arrighetti herself was dead. The Social Security Administration had registered her as deceased. And just like that, reality cracked. In our modern world, death is more than just a biological end, it's a bureaucratic status. And once you're dead in the system, the consequences are devastating. Margaret's health insurance stopped immediately. She couldn't pick up her medications at the pharmacy. Her Social Security checks vanished. No income, no access. When she tried to explain to a clerk that she was, in fact, standing right there alive, she was met with confused stares. Her bank account was frozen, triggering overdraft fees. Bills bounced, automatic payments failed. Margaret wasn't mourning her husband anymore. She was now fighting for her own right to exist. After hours on the phone, letters, forms, and endless frustration, Margaret was told the problem had been resolved. Relieved, she returned to her routines until she tried to refill a prescription and was once again denied. The system still showed her as deceased. This would happen again and again. In total, Margaret Arrighetti was declared dead 3 times. Each time, it took weeks, sometimes months, to get her identity restored. And even after all that, some systems still refused to recognize her as living. She was trapped in a digital purgatory, too alive to grieve, too dead to function. Margaret's story isn't just one woman's glitch in the matrix. It's a disturbing reminder of how fragile our identities are in the age of bureaucracy and automation. A single keystroke, one mistaken entry in a government database, can collapse everything. We rely on digital systems to define if we're eligible for healthcare, money, even freedom. But what happens when the system decides you no longer exist? There's no hotline for the undead, no quick fix. And for the elderly, who may not know how to navigate these systems, it can be isolating, terrifying, and even life-threatening. Margaret Arrighetti is alive, still dealing with the lingering effects of being erased 3 times. Her story isn't over, because her fight for recognition continues. But one thing is clear. Being alive isn't enough. Sometimes you have to prove it, and if it happened to Margaret, it could happen to any of us. If this story shocked you, imagine how many others go unheard. So don't forget to like and share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel now for more unbelievable true stories. And tell us in the comments, what would you do if you had to prove you were alive?